Hey guys, it's Maya from Kiss My Lash, and today I'm going to talk about how to start your own lash product line in 2022. First and foremost, I'm just gonna say this, if you weren't already aware, probably 95% of lash brands out there, and I'm talking about like all the brands, not necessarily like percentage of the market. Most brands in the lash industry are private labeled. So this means that they go through a vendor who's already connected to a manufacturer who's already selling this to other lash brands and they're private labeling it. That doesn't mean that it's not your own brand. I'm just saying that it's relatively easy for anyone to do. It's just a matter of getting the high quality manufacturers where their quality is consistent no matter what quantity you're ordering in. So to actually be providing a good quality lash to your consumers, make sure that you are batch testing. You're ordering a few batches just to make sure that their quality is consistent. So you can do this through Alibaba.com, which is a really great resource because you can see how long the manufacturer has been in business or the vendor. Try to not go through a middleman, a vendor. Try to actually get like videos of their factory from their manufacturer. Samples are going to be expensive initially. You can pay as much for a lash tray as $30 after shipping, but that is unfortunately just what you'll have to go through with sampling, as well as they will send you like, the best of the best with their samples, which is another importance of batch testing. So just right off the bat, I'm gonna say this, starting a product line is a huge investment and you're probably gonna have to try 5 to 10 different vendors or manufacturers to really get someone good. And it is a very expensive process, so make sure that you're in it for the long haul. Definitely helps if you are an active lash artist and you will go through those supplies anyways, but just be aware of the upfront costs. Even if you're just getting a few variations of each type of lash. For example, I have 0.03 DD mixed tray in front of me of my own brand. You have to order 10 of each kind of tray, so that means 10 trays of 9mm, 10 trays of 10mm, etc. So extremely high order quantities, so just be prepared for those upfront costs. And that's not to mention that that's what you're gonna have to order to for those batch tests. Shipping from China is also extremely expensive, so definitely save up for it. It's definitely doable, and as a salon owner specifically, I know it definitely cuts down my cost of providing a service, but just, you gotta be in it for the long haul. It is also increasingly getting oversaturated, so you have to really make sure that you're finding a trustworthy manufacturer, as it's easier for the manufacturers overseas to find people who are wanting to start lash brands. The next thing I'm gonna say is the importance of networking. So networking, talking to other lash artists in your community, and just, straight up giving them samples or giving them discounts on trying your product. It's definitely a way that a lot of lash brands kind of build their clientele of people who are continuously buying lash product from them. And, it's just like when you're starting to do lashes, giving out those free initial sets, trading, whatnot. And that's something that you're gonna have to do with this business too, a good chunk of the time, unless you already have a following. Maybe it might be a little bit easier to launch that brand, but that is another kind of initial upfront investment. And then I'm just gonna say, with your website, make sure it's really user-friendly. Make sure that you're actually testing it out yourself and making sure that the shipping process is easy. The reason that I have chosen to not offer classic lashes for my brand of lashes is because I sell a couple other local brands, both in store and online, and I'm so happy with those brands. I know that they've done their intensive testing and I really trust their quality, and I'd rather focus on being a distributor who sells a few really good, trustworthy brands that I know, love, and use, and people who work here know everything about, rather than just testing a few different primers, seeing which one's good for what kind of skin type. I think that that's an awesome thing to do, but I have a few other things going on in my business that I'm more focused on. And if you're going to start a product line, it definitely is a big investment, huge time investment. Just one more thing I'm going to say with the overseas manufacturers is the time zones there are a lot different from North America, so you will have to stay up till midnight if you're wanting to talk to them. So just make sure you're a night owl or an extremely early riser. Definitely is possible, but just be prepared. It's definitely not as easy as maybe something more generic like clothing, where you can just feel, like if the quality is good. Lashing is definitely something where, you got to pick up the lashes, you got to see, do they hold their curl? And then glues especially, is it consistent? And I would definitely refrain from the lash manufacturers on Instagram who are messaging you because you can't see how long they've been a manufacturer. Have they been in business 3 years, 5 years? I would try to go for the ones kind of closer to the 10-year mark, so you know that they have some back background behind them. Once you actually have a good product and yeah, you're starting to give it out to local lash artists, or you know, like maybe run some promos initially, make sure that your website is very organized and it's easy to navigate. As lash artists, we're not really used to the whole e-commerce side of things. At least I definitely wasn't. It took me a long time to get used to, and even still to this day, there's definitely lots of ways that I think I want to make my website a little bit more user-friendly. We use Square. I know lots of lash artists, along with other small business owners in Canada at least, really like using Square. We love it. Shopify is another good platform, a little bit higher fees, but it's a really great platform for when you're starting. It's nice because it integrates really well with inventory tracking in store, which is awesome because we sell in store a lot to local lash artists here. Regardless of how you set up everything initially, make sure that you're providing really, really good customer support. If there's going to be one thing that's going to set you apart in any avenue of this lash industry, is customer service. So everyone at front desk has really good resources to each product and kind of what it is. You know, not everyone at front desk are lash artists themselves, so just make sure that people know 0.03 is for mega volume, 0.05 is for volume. If someone else is going to maybe be behind the desk selling your products or talking to customers, because it's really important as a lash brand to be actually knowledgeable about what you're selling and able to have information out there that's easy for lash artists to navigate. And that is all my tips and tricks for starting a lash product line. If you're wanting to shop our supplies, you can find them at kissmylashbeauty.ca. We do Canada-wide shipping and in-store 10 to 6, 7 days a week. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday.